of mass killings. In October 2018, paramilitary forces murdered 5 civilian members of one family, including an elderly woman and child. Just 2 months later, in December, a group to the south raided a village and killed 6 civilians. The first domino in the next global economic crisis has fallen when Hong Kong crashed Thursday morning into a technical recession, the first time since the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Hong Kong's economy plunged 3.2% in third quarter of 2019, government data showed on Thursday, exceeding economists' lowest estimates and confirming a technical recession has begun. Earlier this week, it was reported that Hong Kong Financial Secretary Paul Chan warned after more than half a year of violent anti-government demonstrations, the end of October will likely mark the start of a recession. With 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth and no end to the protests in sight, Bloomberg has noted in a series of graphs that a full-year economic contraction is likely for 2020. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Zone. I'm Brooke Alvarez. Our top story tonight, Congress has passed a bill naming incomprehensible shouting the official language of the United States.
I'm sick and tired of listening to people who say that Americans should not know what to know, and that's not what it is, what the policy is. The red-blooded American is what we have in this day and age.
Under the new law, public school classes will only be taught in incomprehensible shouting, and government agencies will no longer offer translators to non-shouting speakers. In addition, a new test will be added to the naturalization process, whereby potential immigrants must prove they have a working knowledge of incomprehensible shouting before they're granted citizenship. The movement started in 2008 with a grassroots organization called Americans, We're Doing It Right Because We Gotta Now, Because Who Else Right? Come on!
This is the Onion News Network, a tomahawk of honesty in the skull of lies.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number for Halloween. Nah, just kidding. It's our toll-free number every night that we're on the radio, and that's pretty much 365 days a year. If you're listening from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, you're going to hear us. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's myself, Chris.
Boo!
Boo!
It's Ian.
He scared me.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. I gotta say, it took me a little longer to get into the studio tonight because there were just pedestrians everywhere. I'm becoming crotchety old man. What are all these people? Get out of this! Dang it! What are you doing? Yeah, and then I kind of realized that it is Halloween and everybody's out, and this is the time when
I don't think everybody's out.
There's a lot of people. It seemed like everybody.
I feel like it's down from last year.
Really?
And not that anybody cares, but it's actually super nice out here in New Hampshire this year for whatever reason. We've had incredibly warm weather. 65
degars outside.
It's at least. Yeah. I've been overdressed all day, and all I've had on has been like a jacket, and it's just been too much.
Right.
But I remember several years ago on Halloween, Mark and I were coming back from a convention of some sort, and it dumped snow. Were you here for that?
I don't think I was, but
okay,
I remember
just before you moved, because I think it's been several years.
Yeah,
back
it has snowed on Halloween since I've been here.
No, but I mean dumped. It was like
big time,
major. Like roads were closed, power lines were taken out.
Ouch.
It took us like 4.5 hours to get back from Manchester. And I think that was the night that Mark crashed his car on the way back to his house. So I drove us all the way back from the airport, totally fine. Took it slow,
Right.
and then Mark took his car the rest of the way home, and he crashed it.
Of course, 5-10 minutes away from home. That's where most accidents occur.
So yeah, it's a crazy place living up here. But I think it's actually, despite the warm weather, I don't think there's as many kids out this year because it's a little inclement. It's a little rainy out tonight.
Rainy and like that.
And some people are afraid of the rain. They think they're going to melt or something like that. I don't know.
And we have local government here. Either banning Halloween, we're going to cancel Halloween because of inclement weather.
Well, now, should government be doing that? Because that has happened before where the city mayor has come out, and it happened in Massachusetts this year. I saw a headline about that. It didn't happen in Keene, which I was surprised about, because frequently the mayor will declare that Halloween will be happening on the next day or a day early or something like that.
Or something like that. I heard a lot of towns, smaller towns here in New Hampshire, were postponing it till tomorrow night, and and that brings out the crotchety old man.
Oh, that definitely upsets me.
When I was your age, we'd be out in 16 feet of snow, or whether or not to get our free candy. I heard somebody put it. Well, actually, I think it was a Facebook meme. They were talking about the trick or treater who is like 14, 15 years old. You're just a little old for this, and how people complain about that.
Really?
Well, people do,
I don't care.
Well,
Take
those
candy.
kids.
Just don't, egg or toilet paper the house, okay, kid? Here, have some candy.
The meme was this. It was like, look, you've got some kids that are holding on to childhood and they're going trick or treating.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather just have them out partying and getting into trouble?
Right. That's what I say. Grab some candy. Just stay home at midnight or whatever.
It's not a bad idea, but it is that night when we hear knocks at the door, and hopefully it doesn't end with this headline. This comes to us from Reason magazine. Cops destroy this house to arrest a shoplifter, and a federal court says police don't have to pay for the damages.
Oh, okay. Well, that just about figures.
Are there any limits to what police can do in pursuit of a suspect? The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals apparently doesn't think so. Again, this comes to us from Reason. A federal appeals court ruled this week that the Colorado man who had his home destroyed by a police raid in 2015 is not entitled to compensation for the damage, which was severe enough to require a complete demolition of the house.
My God.
Quote, under no circumstances in this country should the government be able to blow up your house and render a family homeless, unquote, Leo. Lech, L-E-C-H, the homeowner, told NPR after the court ruling on Wednesday.
And what the hell did this guy shoplift? Like a secret nuclear weapon? I mean, what could possibly have been shoplifted that would be worth this?
It talks about it somewhere in the story, but I believe it was clothing.
That's typical.
Yeah. The raid that Lech and his left Lech and his family homeless had nothing to do with any of them.
Wow.
They weren't even home when an armed shoplifter broke into their house on South Alton Street in the leafy Denver suburb of Greenwood Village, although the burglar was armed only with a handgun and was fully barricaded inside the house. Local police responded as if they were confronting Osama bin Laden. Quote, unleashing a display of force commonly reserved for the battlefield, the tactical team bombarded the building with high-caliber rifles, chemical agents, flashbang grenades, remote-controlled robots, armored vehicles, and breaching rams, all to extract a petty thief with a handgun.
And where
unquote.
was this?
This was in Colorado.
Colorado.
Wrote Jay Stooksbury in the December 2017 issue of Reason.
Wow.
At one point during the 2-day operation, the cops drove
2 days.
2 days long. The cops drove an armored vehicle through the house's front door. When it was all over, the house was unlivable.
Oh my God! These cops will do anything. They can get away with it, and that's what the court decided.
To get their man, Greenwood Village condemned the structure, forcing Lech to have it torn down, and the city offered Ready for this?
I've already read it. Oh, my God.
$5,000 to cover the damage.
That's insane.
That prompted Leck's lawsuit, which has been winding its way through federal court for several years. Leck claimed the city was liable because the Constitution's takings clause, which forbids governments from taking.
I'm sorry. Do you even have to point to the Constitution here? I mean, isn't it just obvious that they're liable? They destroyed this family's property.
I think
it'd be one thing if this was the shoplifter's home, because then you could argue, well, screw this guy, right?
Right. And there's all kinds of reasons why this is a wrong story, but because the guy brought suit under the Fifth Amendment, I believe the Fifth fell under the takings clause, and we'll get into what the court actually said.
Yeah.
Their defense of the police just doing their job, unquote, and anything to catch a criminal,
No,
even if it is just a pet, if the guy stole a pair of pants, you need a SWAT team, Ian.
Even some police departments have come to the conclusion that it's not worth the risk to go on chases.
Right.
And now obviously their own officers are at risk in those cases. That's probably the primary motivation for them. They're probably not that concerned with the other innocent people that are on the road during the chase, because sometimes officers will get into car wrecks during these chases. But this is just absolutely insane to destroy somebody's home because there's a shoplifter holed up in there with a gun.
Put it this way. If government, in all its infinite wisdom, decides that the persecution of this thief, this hardened criminal who stole a pair of pants at JCPenney's, is worth destroying a house, if government officials make that decision and say, yes, this house needs to come down because we've got to get those JCPenney's pants back, then government officials need to be liable for them.
Yeah.
And
now you're proposing something that I think a lot of people would agree with, but the government gang will fight tooth and nail. Their bureaucrats do not want to be held liable for their actions, and they have things called immunity, various different types. There's sovereign immunity, I believe. There's qualified immunity. There's a third one that I'm forgetting, I think.
There'll probably be a fourth and a fifth because they'll make them up as they go. 855, 450 free. What do you think? Should the police be allowed to destroy your home to the point that it needs condemned because they need to catch a thief? This is Free Talk Live.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com.
With just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Images of destruction are flooding in, and the worst isn't over. Experts warn that Hurricane Ashley could strike as many as 8 bars throughout the day. Her Cinco de Mayo plans, combined with all the recent drama with Scott, have created perfect conditions for Hurricane Ashley to cause a lot of damage this afternoon and well into the evening. Here's a look at Ashley's path of destruction so far. At 11 a.m., she landed on Foster Street, moving from O'Murphy's to the Blue Iguana, hitting the place that does the mini pizzas the hardest. And she's expected to merge with other high-pressure systems, including BFFs Jessica and Christy, within the next hour. Forecasters predict that some areas could see all 3 grown women obnoxiously shouting, wearing sombreros and fake mustaches as early as 5 p.m. The whirlwind might not die down until close to 2:30 a.m. when she's expected to be kicked out of a reggae bar called the Lion's Den for saying something racist. Our thoughts are with everyone in her path.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number. Even on Halloween, it's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's myself, Chris.
Hey, I'm Ian.
And nobody.
We have been talking about the police knocking at your door. And no, they're not trick-or-treaters.
Oh, it's a trick, all right.
It's a trick.
Not a treat.
They were
Not ever.
pursuing definitely a hardened criminal. We'll get into it, but he was this type of crime definitely needs a SWAT team to respond. I think he was shoplifting. Have you heard of this heinous crime?
Yeah, I've read the story.
Yeah, okay. So in pursuit of a shoplifter who, he did have a handgun with him. So, it was probably one of those 3,000 round magazines on the handgun, I'm guessing. Or maybe it was...
If we don't know the details, we'll just make them up.
Probably a nuclear handgun. It was firing tactical nuclear weapons. That's the only reason I could come up with to call out the SWAT team and do all
normally
this.
When somebody steals from a store, you try to catch them when they're doing the act. The store's loss control officer hopefully is present. They're monitoring. They catch the person on camera or observe them putting something into their pants or wherever it is they're trying to store it. And then on the way out the door, they detain them, call the police, take care of it. That's normally how it goes.
Sure.
If they, are unable to apprehend the suspect, they call the police, and the police, conduct an investigation. If they find the person, then they charge them with shoplifting, and if they are found guilty, they then have to pay restitution to the store. In this case, they brought in an entire SWAT team, chased a man into a house, kept him there for 2 days. And blasted in various different things, ran the Bearcat or whatever it was, some kind of tank, straight through the wall of the house, just completely demolished basically somebody's home. And it wasn't the man's home who was the shoplifter.
No, they used high caliber rifles, chemical agents, flashbang grenades, remote controlled robots, armored vehicles, and breaching rams.
They brought out everything they had for this.
Because a petty thief had a handgun. Yeah.
Well, I heard they weren't too gun-friendly in Colorado.
Well, this would have been 2015, so this was probably when they were more gun-friendly. Now they have really kind of gone completely anti-Second Amendment on this.
The first place I saw
anti-defense.
open carry actually was Grand Junction, Colorado.
Interesting.
But that was in the 90s.
Right.
And, they told me it was not... I mean, I didn't ask him what he did for a living. He wasn't wearing spurs that I recall.
Yeah. Well, I knew I grew up in a rural western town, and it was not unusual to see people dressed as cowboys because that's their occupation, and to have a revolver on their hip. I mean, it was just sort of part of what you wore.
Yeah. See, now that you mention it, I don't know, because I would imagine I probably ran into enough cowboy-looking people in Colorado that by that time my mind would have just discounted it.
Right.
But yeah, it's sad that Colorado has fallen that way.
Yeah, and so basically, the city offered them a enormous sum, $5,000 for about a $390,000 home
That they had to demolish.
They had to demolish it, so the city came up with $5,000 and said, just sign here. That means you're okay with it. The guy said, no,
Shove it.
I'm okay with taking this to the federal courts, and that's what he did.
God, how much did he have to pay to do that?
Yeah, exactly. The federal court district
another
ruled in
couple $100,000 maybe?
Oh, I'm sure it's expensive. They ruled in 2016 that the court basically agreed with the city that this could not be taken under consideration under the takings clause of the Constitution. It wasn't a taking. They didn't just, condemn his house. They were. It was police in pursuit.
We didn't take your house. We just destroyed it.
Right. So that's why they said that it wasn't. It wasn't going to be covered. The defense law enforcement actions. This is the cities. Fell within the scope of the police power and actions taken pursuant to the police power. Actions taken pursuant to the police power do not constitute takings, unquote, the judges wrote. Leck did get $345,000 payout from his homeowner's insurance, but that was not enough to cover the full value of the home, which had been appraised at around $580,000. And this payout did not cover the expenses.
Was that a tax appraisal or a sales appraisal? Because those come up with very different numbers frequently.
Very frequently. It doesn't mention that here. And this payout did not cover the cost of demolition or the loss of other property inside the home.
Right.
Leck ended up having to take out a $390,000 loan to cover the cost of rebuilding.
Hold on. This guy rebuilt his house in the same town where these lunatics destroyed it?
Yeah.
Hold on. If you just had a police department completely demolish your home and ruin your life, basically, because, again, he was underwater on the house, presumably. He had lost money on this deal big time. But yet you got $345,000 from the homeowner's insurance. If you got a check for $345,000, why would you want to stay in that place? You don't think lightning can strike twice?
Right. And by the lightning, you mean the police.
Yeah.
And then he had a $390,000 loan, too. So, I'm not going to speculate on what
that's
he is.
only to rebuild. He got the loan to rebuild. He could have taken that $345,000 check and gotten out of there, right? Does the homeowner's insurance force you to use that money on the property, or can you just take it and
no,
walk?
you can take it and go.
Right.
Lots of people don't rebuild their houses.
So, if this was a $580,000 appraisal based on taxes, I mean, the market may have said that the house was worth $750,000 or, whatever he had in it. I have no idea.
It's an interesting case. I wonder if the insurance company joined in the suit or if they knew that was a lost cause, because the insurance company actually got hit harder than the guy. At least in terms of cash. I mean, of course, they didn't have anything.
Or maybe the insurance company knew better than to spend money suing the state.
Right.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering is did they know that was coming? Wow,
brutal.
That really is.
Absolutely. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Tom calling in from New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hello?
Hello.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Don't know why that is. We can hear you fine, so maybe there's some sort of an issue at our network. If he can't hear us...
Now I can hear you. Hello?
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead, Tom.
I got an email yesterday from the New Hampshire Republican Party, and it says that Vice President Pence will be in Concord on Thursday, November the 7th, to file for Trump and Pence for re-election.
Interesting.
Why do we care?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going to hold on. We'll bring you back. 855-450 free. We're talking about police destroying homes, cities refusing to pay for the damage their employees did, and it's just a mess. 855-450 free.
Do you have a qualified plan, an IRA, 401k, 401(b), or some other type of investment account? Would you like to learn how the ultra-wealthy take their investment accounts and make them legally 100% tax-free? Have your money liquid and invest in literally anything you want to completely tax-free with the blessing of the IRS. And no, it's not a Roth. Join us now at dna.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at dna.freetalklive.com.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number you call to get on the radio on a very special Halloween edition of Free Talk Live. You can also use Discord. Discord is a very cool app. All you do is load it up. You go to discord.freetalklive.com to figure out how to connect to us. Just use your high-speed internet connection and your quality microphone, and you will sound like you were right here in the studio with us. And the us again is myself, Chris.
Hey, it's Ian.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
I'm in the Discord right now. I'm there all the time. There apparently was an imposter there earlier today who was pretending
That's
to be me.
impostable.
Yeah.
But first, I do want to tell you about local.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposits, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. Remember when we used to do that for things? There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com.
By the way, if somebody hits you up on our Discord server under my name asking for money, that's not me.
You're just everywhere asking for money. Are you okay?
It's not
because
me.
I've been getting, random messages from...
Did they hit you up again?
No.
Because they hit you up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I got hit up several times. Yeah.
They went at you more than once?
Well, I mean, twice. That leads me to believe that I believe it's the same person.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. And I believe it's someone that may not be completely unknown to people we know.
I don't know.
Well, he knew I was running for governor.
It's public information.
I know, because I made him. Yeah, that's
could be a listener.
Could be.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I heard he hit up Doug Scribner.
Really?
Yeah. So for long-time or listeners who are long-time, you remember Doug. Newer listeners, he's a long-time Free Talk Live listener. He doesn't live in New Hampshire. He's not in any of the Telegram groups, because at first when this guy started hitting up a bunch of people on social media, it seemed like he was going after New Hampshire crypto people, forkfesters. There was a clear connection between the people that he was hitting. And to hit up Doug Scribner suggests that he may just be listening, and he knows that Doug has, he's been successful with Bitcoin. He's the guy behind Vault Logic, which is one of the Bitcoin ATM companies out there. And I'm thinking maybe he just searched his name on Telegram and found him that way or something.
Now there is a new service that I was reading about today. I don't remember if I posted it in the host's Telegram, but it's supposed to help people recover stolen Bitcoin, and it uses the same techniques that law enforcement uses and used to try to track Bitcoin, track where the Bitcoin went.
Well, I don't understand how that's going to help you recover it. You can watch the Bitcoin that's been stolen from you and see where it goes.
Right.
But if somebody steals Bitcoin from you and then they go and they buy something with it, the vendor doesn't know that it's stolen Bitcoin. And if you come to them and say, hey, that Bitcoin was stolen from me, the person that's, the seller online or whatever that just sold somebody a product for that Bitcoin, that's not their problem. They didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really not their problem. I believe that what they expect you to do, or what they expect to do, is find out who the person is, and then it's between you, and it would be up to you and the police and the or whatever gang you want to enlist to actually extract what you could out of it. But, of course, they're starting out using this thing against the Mt. Gox bandits and people like that, where it's significant amount of money.
Good. We are going to go back to the phones where we had Tom holding. Tom, you still there?
Yeah, it's about an email I got from the Republican Party. I just want to pass this along to political activists and people like that, especially if they, let's say they don't like Trump and Pence, and they want to go out and peacefully demonstrate against Trump and Pence.
Okay.
That, it says here that Mike Pence is going to be filing for re-election for him and Trump at the New Hampshire State House on Thursday, November the 7th. And it says, please arrive at 8 a.m., but, to reserve a great spot. But,
this is for supporters. They're encouraging supporters to go out and cheer them on.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned this before.
I don't think we really need to get political event updates here. It doesn't really seem particularly relevant to the majority of our audience. So, again, why should anyone care?
But thanks for the call, Tom.
The other thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Bring up something.
Yep.
Nope, guess not.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I have finally decided who my choice is for my tyrant. Because here in America, it's a great country. You get to pick who your tyrants are. That's called the democratic process. So I've decided for president, since nobody's not running for president, I will support Vermin Supreme. He's the only candidate that I can get behind. And
I don't know. If McAfee gets the nod, I might throw in behind
him.
I
don't...
Maybe.
I don't have a favorite in the Libertarian primary. I know I'll vote for whatever Libertarian they nominate, because who else am I going to vote for? But
the Green Party nominee.
Yeah, no.
Only if you're a communist.
How about?
Green on the outside and red on the inside, like watermelon.
We're going to go back to the phones where we've got...
Actually, that caller has not been screened. Now he has. So he was on the answer button. So you would have interrupted the call screener in that case. Go ahead.
We're going to go to Robert calling from Louisiana. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, sir. I was just wanting to let y'all know that last night's episode ain't coming up. It's coming up as error, ERROR on the podcast deal on M.
Interesting. We will look into that. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I appreciate it when people give us a heads up, but we have email addresses, so please try to, send your issues that you might be having via email, not call during the live radio show.
Oh, that's okay. And who would they email?
They can email me, ian@freetalklive.com.
Very good.
Yeah,
presidential candidates. So there's nobody on the Democratic side that has me jazzed. I would have thought the Democrats could have found anyone who would stand up better on liberty issues than tyrant Trump. And and I say
I would say Tulsi is probably better than Trump.
She doesn't really like firearms.
That is an issue. But then again, he doesn't either.
Well, that's why I'm not voting for him.
Yeah. But
I just wanted one candidate who hasn't talked about how they're going to violate the Constitution or hasn't violated the Constitution in the past, and I am left with a field of zero. So Vermin Supreme, even though some of his proposals may flirt, I don't know who's going to pay for all the toothbrushes. Those are the types of questions I got to answer for Vermin Supreme. He's very big on oral health. He wants all kids to brush, and he's talked about making sure everyone has access to a toothbrush. If it's the choice of everyone has access to a toothbrush versus the U.S. government is going to spend $1 trillion on bombs to blow up people in other countries, I'm going to go with the oral health. And I know toothbrushes aren't that expensive. You don't even need to be Trump to make a great deal on toothbrushes.
Wow. I don't know. I like Vermin a lot. He's a great guy, but I don't. Basically, the person that the Libertarians nominate, I'll almost certainly vote for.
It's probably not going to be Vermin Supreme, so odds are good you're not going to be able to vote for him on the general election ballot unless you write him in.
I'll write him in happily. 855-450-FREE, and I hope somebody does rise up who may offer a better choice. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-453. That is our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. And happy Halloween to you wherever you are. I assume you've been out trick-or-treating. Everybody is loaded up on 2 to 3 months worth of survival sugar. I hope that that's working out for everybody. I myself, no trick-or-treating for me, and none where I live.
Yeah, you're out in the woods.
I live in the middle of nowhere.
Gotta walk
which
too
is
far.
How I like it. So unless we get some knocks from some bears, and I mean the fuzzy kind, that would be cool. But first, I want to tell you about LibertyCon. Would you like to take a trip to the belly of the beast, Washington, D.C., and not be revolted? LibertyCon is a unique libertarian convention, April 3rd to the 5th, in Washington, D.C., for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for the purpose of career advancement or business and intern opportunities. Hear from a list of incredible speakers such as John Mackey, the former CEO of Whole Foods, co-founder of Conscious Capitalism, Vernon Smith, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in economics and will speak on alternative markets, Miriam Issa, who's a pop culture expert and political commentator with over 300 million YouTube views, and Nassim Nicholas Taleb, who spent 21 years as a risk taker before becoming a researcher in philosophical, mathematical, and practical solutions with probability.
I read his book when I was in jail. It's called Black Swan.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Maybe he's got more than one book, but that's the one I read.
And there is still more. Visit libertycon.com for more details on additional speakers and events, and use coupon code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. Student travel scholarships are available, and discount rooms for everyone at the Marriott Marquis in D.C. Save with early registration at libertycon.com using code FTL for a $10 discount. That's about the only reason I've heard this year that I would consider going to DC? Washington, D.C. Yeah. I've been there many, many times. I used to live about 40 minutes outside of D.C., and now I live, I guess, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours away from D.C., and I've never been happier.
So, did you want to talk to Gene, the Christian anarchist? Because he is on the AMP call-in line right now on our Discord server.
I will. Give me just a second to try that. Gene, you there?
Twice we went to Chicago. He wasn't.
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. You're on Free Talk Live.
Oh, I'm on right now. Okay. I tried to call in yesterday at the end of the show, and of course we ran out of time, but I wanted to talk about the sovereign man movement, which is something that I used to be involved in, and so I know a little bit about it.
Okay.
And
can you describe it?
I think it's when people basically, and it's kind of unfortunate the host isn't on who was presenting that last night, but basically the argument is that there's a corporation in your name, and that when you go to court and all these other things, that's in the corporate name and not in your own personal name, and you're a sovereign man, so therefore that doesn't refer to you.
The claim is that this is what they call a straw man, the all capital letters. That are frequently in legal documents, names are written in all capital letters, is an indicator that they're actually talking about the straw man, not the actual human being, and that by going into court and saying certain things, or even just showing up, or by crossing the bar, there's all these different theories about it, that you have joined with that straw man, so you are telling the court that you are there on behalf of the straw man, and they can punish you, and that there's supposedly all these ways to get out of it.
Right, and I'll briefly go through why I caution people against that and why those arguments don't make a lot of sense. Number one, I caution people against it because I know people who have gone to prison with those arguments.
Yep.
And that's very unfortunate. But the reason that the arguments don't make sense is that nobody can start a corporation in your name, not legally anyway, not according to regular common law where all contract has to be fully disclosed, signed by somebody of a competent mind. And,
well, we know that all contracts do not have to be fully disclosed because they have the social contract.
Well, that's not a contract. That's just something they call a social contract.
Right.
But there is no Well, they can call it that, but it's not a contract.
Well, I agree
it's not
with
binding in any sense.
Well, it's binding in the sense that there are men with guns who will throw you in a jail cell over it.
That's
right. But
well, if they throw you in a jail cell, though, it's not over the social contract. It's over some statute or constitution or something like that. The social contract is just philosophical backfilling to try to justify that nonsense.
Right. Well, they say that the social contract is how you agreed to all the statutes, because otherwise, how do the statutes apply?
Exactly. It's the price we pay to live in a free country, Rich.
Who's rich?
Well, see, this is the bottom line. The bottom line is not that there's some kind of a contract in your name, blah blah blah, and when you do certain things, you agree to that contract, which is all a bunch of nonsense. It does not make any sense at all. What does make sense and what does explain the behavior is that it's simply men with guns forcing their will upon other people.
Yes,
in other words,
that's what it is.
It's an illegal gang. It's the federal mafia.
No, it's actually a legal gang. It's different from an illegal gang. See, they don't like illegal gangs because illegal gangs are competition to their legal gang. They've got all the lawyers.
I thought he said it was a legal gang. Did I mishear you?
He said it was an illegal gang.
He said illegal.
Well, yeah.
I call it
say
How about immoral?
I did say illegal, and I would qualify that by saying immoral, because I don't believe that there can be such a thing as a immoral law. So therefore, whatever is immoral is not legal, in my opinion.
I agree.
But the other reason that these contracts can't exist is, number one, my birth certificate, I was born a long time ago, born in 1952. My birth certificate does not have all capitals on it. It was typed on it was typed on a regular manual typewriter by some nurse in a corner, and she went to typing school and typed my name proper with proper capitalization and proper small letters. So therefore, the whole argument falls apart in my situation, because I don't have an all capital letters.
I have also seen inconsistency in that capitalization theory being applied by government agencies. Some of them do them in all capitals, but not all the time.
The other absurdity is that they claim that these things are being traded on the stock exchanges. Well, people buy stock so that they can get the dividends. But have you ever written a dividend check to your investors? I certainly
and where
haven't.
are all these corporations registered? Where's the registration of all these corporations? I don't see them anywhere.
I mean, I applaud the effort to try to poke holes in the whole system. I'm not against that.
There are some arguments. There are some arguments they make that are actually quite valid.
That's true.
But then they twist. But then they mix them in with these invalid arguments, and they kind of throw the whole thing out the window. So I caution people against getting involved in it. It's fun to read. It's fun to study. You might learn something by doing so, but I wouldn't put my life on the line for those kind of arguments, because it's dangerous.
Well, it is interesting that they do point out, and I think correctly, that a lot of these government bureaucracies do have their own registered corporate names, and that you can look them up on like Dun and Bradstreet and things like that, like the superior courts and the police departments. Yeah, they actually do exist in those places. I've checked those claims.
Well, like all of these other crazy things like chemtrails and stuff, there is always a little bit of truth in what they present. So then you take that little bit of truth and then you blow it out of proportion and come up with a conclusion that makes no sense.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks, Gene, for the call tonight. Sounds like he's in a cafeteria.
Yeah, he's traveling, I think.
Could be.
So it's interesting. I've been confronted more times by liberty activists about sovereign citizenry, sovereign man, sovereign citizens. I've been told that the only true currency in the United States are postage stamps, and I should ignore everything else. It becomes you just lose credibility with me, and I'm not going to be able to use the postage stamp argument to argue with people about why the Federal Reserve is an immoral organization, and there are many reasons you should quit using money, but because you want to trade in postage stamps never really did a lot for me. So,
well, I want to say I believe that that individuals should be sovereign. I don't believe in the idea of a sovereign citizen, because I think that's a contradictory term.
That's a good point.
A citizen is somebody who owes a duty of allegiance in return for an obligation of protection, and that is not what a sovereign is. A sovereign is the ruler of themselves. In this
You
case.
are the sovereign. You, listening to my voice, are sovereign. You own yourself. Government doesn't own you. 855-450-FREE. Think about that. This is Free Talk Live.
Let's talk Halloween coming up.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
My blood work with my doctor is the best it's ever been. All my numbers. And this is the only supplement I take now. Whatever I'm doing, he said, keep it up.
We're landlords, and I have about 3 people moving in, and it's been very strenuous, but I have the energy to do it, thanks to, Balance of Nature.
My blood work has been getting better and better every 6 months, and I have no explanation for it other than I'm taking a Balance of Nature. All the numbers are always changing for the better, every blood test.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,512, silver at $18.12, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,222. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing 1 or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, in 2015, an armed shoplifting suspect barricaded himself inside an innocent man's home. But instead of barging into the home and attempting to make an arrest, the police blew up the unfortunate bystander's house instead. Using explosives and tear gas in an attempt to force the suspect out of the home, police entirely destroyed it by the end of the encounter. The basic infrastructure and frame was left barely intact. Now, after years of legal battles, a federal appeals court ruled that the homeowner is not entitled to any compensation from the city or the police because the officers were acting to preserve the safety of the public. The Mind Unleashed reports the owner of the house, Leo Leck, says that the incident that day left his family homeless simply because the police couldn't find a less destructive way of handling the situation. The house was ultimately condemned by the local government, leaving Leck forced to rebuild from the ground up, a construction project that he estimates cost roughly $400,000. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. CIA-backed death squads in Afghanistan have committed a number of human rights violations over the last year, a Human Rights Watch report found Thursday. And the militant groups are likely to be the lasting legacy of the U.S. war in the country. The report reviewed cases of abuse from late 2017 to the middle of 2019 in Afghanistan, interviewing 39 Afghans and a number of rights groups in the country. The group found a pattern of extreme violence from the CIA-trained and backed death squads. In a statement, HRW Associate Asia Director Patricia Grossman, who was the report's lead author, said the CIA, through backing the militant groups, had consigned entire communities to the terror of abusive night raids and indiscriminate airstrikes. Among the atrocities detailed in the report are a number of mass killings. In October 2018, paramilitary forces murdered 5 civilian members of one family, including an elderly woman and child. Just 2 months later, in December, a group to the south raided a village and killed 6 civilians. The first domino in the next global economic crisis has fallen when Hong Kong crashed Thursday morning into a technical recession, the first time since the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Hong Kong's economy plunged 3.2% in third quarter of 2019, government data showed on Thursday, exceeding economists' lowest estimates and confirming a technical recession has begun. Earlier this week, it was reported that Hong Kong Financial Secretary Paul Chan warned after more than half a year of violent anti-government demonstrations, the end of October will likely mark the start of a recession. With 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth and no end to the protests in sight, Bloomberg has noted in a series of graphs that a full-year economic contraction is likely for 2020. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A mouse is eaten. It is an event that happens millions of times a day, all over the world. Other mice are wiped out by disease or starvation. If you collected all the mice that die in one day in New York City, they would weigh 8,000 pounds. If you stacked up an equivalent amount of dead humans or even mangy dogs, it would be considered an atrocity. It seems no one has any respect for the mouse. But then, why should they? The plankton of mammals. They breed rapidly. They all look identical, and they once spread the plague. No one weeps for the mouse, for its life is worth less than zero. Just another cold fact of life on this horrifying planet.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855, 450 free, hour number 2. We are here to entertain you. That's 855-450-3733. I do want to tell you about Anypay and their website, helpmetakebitcoin.com. Do you operate a retail business, or are you looking for a solution to point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier. Thanks to helpmetakebitcoin.com. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just visit helpmetakebitcoin.com and follow the simple steps. Within moments, you'll be accepting cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. You can get started now at helpmetakebitcoin.com. That's helpmetakebitcoin.com. I use it. I love it.
You use it at your store as a merchant.
Oh, yeah. I do exactly what they offer, and it's a great, it's nothing. It did not cost me any money to sign up for, and begin accepting cryptocurrencies from my customers. And here in Keene, New Hampshire, where we broadcast our show from, it's a weekly occurrence that somebody pays for something with Bitcoin. And what's even more surprising, it's not the people I always know. Ian, you've bought a lot of Vermont maple candy here at the store, and you would pay with cryptocurrency, but just occasionally I'll see somebody, tourist passing through. Oh, you accept Bitcoin? I have that conversation an awful lot. But occasionally people will pay for it because they've never been somewhere where you could actually spend your cryptocurrency. If you're coming from Connecticut or somewhere else in the Northeast,
or anywhere else, period.
Anywhere else, yeah. It's not something you see everywhere, but as a business, you can definitely open the door to a few more sales, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, the other thing they do, which is huge in encouraging people to spend Bitcoin or spend Bitcoin Cash and Dash, is Bitcoin Cash Back and Dash Back.
Yep.
Where
very, very positive feedback to those.
Which, just to be clear,
does that only happen within New Hampshire?
No. However, it does only happen at verified real-life brick-and-mortar merchants. So you can't just go and sign up for Anypay and get the Dash back on your personal account.
Right. You couldn't do that because then you'd just have guys who would form two companies and send Bitcoin Cash back and forth between them. That'd be a bad plan.
So, they do some level of verification on the merchants that want to qualify for that, and then once they're qualified, then they keep an eye on things just to make sure that there's no unusual activity that's showing up.
Well, and I think we could all remember there was a time when there was some unusual. It was just the incentives weren't really tuned in.
Well, when they first launched the Dash Back, they were giving $5 Dash Back on every purchase, no matter what happened. And so then you got a problem where there were people going around town from merchant to merchant.
I would like to buy a $1 candy bar. Thank you. I would like to buy a second $1 candy bar.
And then they get $5 back and then $5 back.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't really call that a problem because that's how the rules were written.
Well, it was a problem because
I guess it was a problem for them, but
no, it became a problem for merchants
too. Weren't really doing anything
It became
wrong.
a problem for merchants because and at the time merchants were also getting a bonus. They got rid of the merchant bonus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, the merchants were getting extra $5 worth of Dash on every purchase, and so was the customer. And normally a merchant wouldn't object to that, right? Like getting more money per sale. But the problem was you had somebody doing what Chris was suggesting, where they literally would come in, they'd go into Corner News, they get the candy, right? The 25-cent candy that she's got in there or whatever. They'd buy one piece of candy, get their $5. Then they'd buy another piece of candy, get their $5. They just stand there and put one-off products at the. You got a line of people behind you at this point. So now you're pissing off the other customers.
Oh yeah.
Right?
See, I will say that as a cashier, if somebody was playing that game, I would be like, I don't care that you play that game. That's just fine. I'm making money. You're making money, but I'm not going to make my customers wait for you. So when somebody comes in, you're going to have to stand aside until they're done.
And I don't want people to come away with the idea that this went on for months and years.
No, it was like a 2-month thing, and it was over.
Yeah, and it was, the whole Dash Back thing where it benefited. But even that thing where you had like repeat customers, I got a call within minutes of that happening going, have you seen this kind of thing going on? So everybody was kind of made aware of it, and we identified.
That was what we figured out here in Keene. Was I had to let the guys from Anypay know what was actually happening on the ground. Like, this is not going to work. And then another reason why it needed to end was because we got the bar on here in Keene to where you could then go in and get S-faced drunk and get paid for it, right? Because Thirsty Owl Bar, they'll sell you. What was Vincent drinking last night? It was like or yesterday when we were both there. I think he was drinking like a Long Island iced tea for $2 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a $2 Bloody Mary.
That's what it was. It was you. You were drinking
Hail Mary, full of vodka. Blessed are thou amongst cocktails.
Right. So if you can go to a bar, order a $2 Bloody Mary, and get $3 on top back because you get $5 back. and then you just order another one, right? And so by the time you're not standing up when you get out of the bar, and you've made money.
It's a perpetual drinking machine. Yeah, there's a
Subsidies do throw off, the marketplace to some extent. So in this case, they made the correct adjustments, as some of us here in Keene, suggested to them. Hey, make it so you get less back than the total amount of the sale.
Well, everybody was very excited. It could be a percentage, but that's the thing. People respond to incentives.
They do. Yeah.
And if you've got a poorly written program, people will quickly point out to you.
Take advantage of it.
They'll do that.
Look what happened to that movie pass. You remember hearing about that?
No.
Oh, it came and went real fast. It did not last for very long.
Oh, moviepass.com or
was
something
that the website?
Like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard about it, and I heard at first I heard about it, and then I heard they were completely failed. And
the only thing
I
heard was they were going out of business. How did MoviePass work?
I was never a member, so I couldn't give you a real accurate explanation. Gotcha. I read a little bit about it. We talked about it here. The idea was you paid like $10 a month or $15 a month, and then they let you go see unlimited movies or something like that. Or you'd have to pay, but then they'd reimburse you. There was some way to get the money back. They changed kind of the scheme a couple of times during the existence of them basically burning through venture capital funds, essentially. And it just didn't work out.
Why'd they fail, you think?
Because people were seeing a bunch of movies and they had to pay these movie theaters for the tickets.
Right.
So you would be able to go to the theater and get a $15 movie ticket, and then the next time you went, you'd had already paid for itself because it was only like $10 or $15 a month.
And so people could
they
actually
were paying
afford
the theaters full retail.
I don't know if it was full retail, but it must have been a lot.
Yeah,
I think it might have been full retail.
So consumers could actually afford the concessions. That's impressive. Yeah.
Hey, sorry, go ahead.
It's just interesting that, and this is all, it's the free market. This is how markets operate. People are going to say, well, it was obvious, it was ripoff. Things like this happen all the time, and if it weren't for people taking advantage of things, then things wouldn't change, And MoviePass was such a crazy idea that it might just work, so somebody tried it. I applaud them for trying it. I wish they would have.
I'm still not sure how it could have worked.
Looked at the economics a little bit more, but but there could be something that gave you a discount, ongoing for something for people that see a lot of movies in theaters, I guess. I don't know.
If it were the case that 90% of the users barely went to movies, if they only saw one movie a month, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But then essentially those people would then be subsidizing the real moviegoer fiends who are going 20 times or 30 times a month or whatever every single day. Those folks would be subsidized basically by the people that only go once a month. But I suspect more people went more often because
it did work.
There was no reason not to.
It generated more interest in movies.
I can imagine a homeless guy at a 24-hour movie theater just being, okay, I'll live in the theater.
Right.
855 450 free. We're gonna switch gears here, and we're gonna talk about Halloween because guess what? It is Halloween, and that means we've got some interesting stories. And no, I'm not gonna tell you that they found marijuana in candy because that just doesn't happen.
Well, actually.
Oh, really?
Well, these days.
855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Anarchapulco is the world's foremost conference for voluntariist thinkers and activists, held in beautiful Acapulco, Mexico. Share ideas on how to live free and escape the clutches of the state. Their unparalleled lineup of speakers will discuss entrepreneurship, investments, politics, philosophy, health, sustainability, lifestyles, and personal relationships. Stay in a world-class resort and enjoy the sun and beaches. February the 13th through the 16th, visit anarchapulco.com for early bird pricing and 10% off with coupon code FTL.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
With Fortune DNA, you can invest in anything you want to, 100% tax-free for you and your heirs, and use your money before you're 59 and a half without ever losing your principal, all with the blessing of the IRS. Avoid the volatility of the market, put certainty back into your investing future, and keep full access to your money with Fortune DNA. Join us now at dna.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at dna.freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number to call if you would like to get on the air and tell us what's important to you, what's on your mind. If it's not Halloween, then I frankly don't know what's wrong with you. You should be thinking about Halloween. I'm going to take a moment to just tell you what you should be thinking about. This night should be about Halloween and costumes and candy, and if you're thinking about the miserable state of American government, then just don't. Think about something nice and pleasant, like, when you get a whole candy bar, when somebody goes to the cost and the effort to hand out a whole Hershey's bar, that should make you proud to be an American. On the other hand, when you get a single dum-dum, you know not to go back to that house the next year. Ian's got some Halloween stories, too.
I do. I've been waiting.
But first, I want to tell you about Balance of Nature. Good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great. However, eating right all the time can be a challenge.
Especially on Halloween.
Yes, let's talk about eating right today. Travel and work schedules can get in the way, or you may not have the desire or time to shop and cook the right foods. Balance of Nature has the solution With just 3 Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their veggie capsules, you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that is a lot of nutrition. For a limited time, you can get free shipping plus a free set of fruits and veggies. Just go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL. That is balanceofnature.com, coupon code FTL. And I like the things. I'm kind of sold. I mean, a friend of mine gave them to me, so I didn't
Riley.
pay for anything. Yeah, Riley, who does the Daily Digest for Free Talk Live.
And who actually works for Balance of Nature, apparently.
I didn't know that. But it's a ton of, I just kind of reading up on the science behind it, how they do it, how the drying and the milling of these fruits and vegetables gets in there, and it's pretty crazy.
Turns out those Mormons know a thing or two about drying things out, huh?
Yeah, they do. And they know about taking care of themselves and being prepared. But so we talked about a few Halloween
and magic
stories.
underwear.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, I'm going to roll the hypothetical dice, and you're going to come up with a story which is entitled...
This is from The Washington Post, headline, A Culture, Not a Costume. How to Handle Cultural Appropriation During Halloween.
Thank God. All right.
Because we were all having a tough time with what to do on Halloween.
I was just worried about offending someone or everyone.
For all the people out there who just can't have a good time and can't let other people have a good time and allow others to dress as they want to and as they're, feel inspired to do, this is the article for you by Marion Liu, the travel operations editor. They have a series, apparently, at the Washington Post called About US, as in About Us, is an initiative by the Washington Post to explore issues of identity in the United States. You can sign up for their newsletter. Glory Ames from the White Earth Reservation is frustrated.
I'm sorry, is there a spot when I sign up? It's like name... it's going to say name. Yeah, I want to know if there's a spot that I can put down my preferred pronouns.
I didn't actually look, so
I'll have to find out for myself. Please go ahead.
Is frustrated that despite the presence of several reservations near Moorhead, Minnesota, local Halloween stores still feature a Western section with costumes such as Pow Wow Princess. Even worse.
That sounds like an adult costume.
Despite a long-running debate about racism and cultural appropriation, often prompted by backlash against celebrities and politicians for donning offensive costumes, people continue to wear such costumes. My God, how dare these people? How dare they decide to just have fun and dress a different, culture than themselves?
Well, if you want to dress up as a Viking or a knight or a cowboy or whatever, I'm completely cool with that. I don't care what color you are.
Well, you're appropriating somebody else's culture. We just can't have these things.
I don't care what you dress up as. I mean, it's your costume. Be creative. Do something fun. But these people don't understand that. They don't understand fun. They are always looking to be offended by something. This person, Glory Ames, I'm not sure if that's a man's name or a woman's name, but Ames spotted a photo on Instagram last Halloween of a girl dressed as a Native American with a bullet in her forehead. She immediately reported it to the social media platform and had it removed. Now, there's no doubt that's a costume that's in bad taste, right? Like, having a bullet in your forehead.
I don't know. I mean, you can go as a zombie.
Yeah.
Why does that zombie have to be of a particular race? Or why,
Sure.
if you can dress up as a skeleton, I mean, are people checking those skeletons and finding out what color the skin was when it was there?
Good question.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's a big
that
trend.
could be cultural appropriation.
For people who want to save the environment, it's more environmentally friendly to dress up actual corpses and leave them in your yard.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
They blatantly take certain aspects of our culture, race, religion, and use it for their advantage and ignore the people living it, said Ames, who's the co-president of the American Indian Student Association at Minnesota State University, Moorhead. Yes, she's in college. But beyond simply calling out such behavior, some cultural experts advise education and empathy are in order. Some colleges are going even further and offering training and workshops on the question of what you should and shouldn't wear on Halloween. Jared Pigeon, who is the Director of Diversity and Inclusion at Ames's school. Yes, that's right. He gets paid for this. Which holds the workshops on cultural appropriation, said, quote, "Good people sometimes make bad decisions.
Oh.
What we try to do is turn those bad decisions around. We're not shaming. We're guiding."
Are you? You're telling me how to live my life and how to dress on Halloween.
Oh, but you could offend someone. Be careful, Chris. You can't just be offensive. It's college.
Well, I am looking up the powwow princess costume that they mentioned, and it's kind of a nice costume.
Yes,
I would encourage it. Yeah, it's
pow.
Wow.
But it's just insane, and I am literally dumbstruck by the idea of cultural appropriation.
Yeah, me too.
Dumbstruck by the dumb.
It is, and
so dumb.
Can no one see this? Is if I dress up like an Indian, it's because I didn't dress up like an Indian because I wanted to dress like an idiot. I dressed like an Indian because when I was a little kid, because I thought Indians were cool.
Yeah,
they're cool. And what is the deal? I mean, you can't even say somebody's cool. This is insane.
Yeah, well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, is it not? I mean, that's a saying for a reason.
Yeah, it is. And
people don't wear the costume of, the worst superhero. Yeah. They wear the costumes of their favorite superheroes.
Now, you could certainly do a costume that was offensive, that played into like offensive stereotypes.
Oh, I've done all those.
But that's kind of a different matter.
I got more here on recommendations on how to handle cultural appropriation.
Oh, we need it. 855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Divvy is crypto made easy. Anyone can use Divvy to securely and seamlessly spend, earn, store, or exchange digital money, the US dollar, and euros. Divvy is fast. Transactions happen in seconds with fewer fees. While other altcoins are languishing, the Divvy price has risen substantially against BTC. Now's the time to make a switch to Divvy or make your start with cryptocurrency with Divvy. Visit DivvyProject.org. Divvy is crypto made easy. Plus one-click masternodes. DivvyProject.org. Again, DivvyProject.org.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Do you ever say, I could care less, when you really mean the opposite? You mean to say, I couldn't care less. It's a common mistake. You are judged by how you speak, especially if you're looking for work, with so many more applicants than openings now. But even if you're not, avoiding common misstatements will help you make the most of the dozens of conversations and transactions that crowd your daily routine. So whatever you say, don't say whatever as a single word sentence. It's the most annoying expression in the American English language, according to a recent poll. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. But seriously, at the end of the day, you'll want to avoid this scenario, sounding like everyone else. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Here on a very special Halloween edition of Free Talk Live. Ian is dressed up like Ian.
Yeah, I did wear a mask for a short bit tonight out on the porch.
Nice. I did not dress up at all. I got into work and I went to talk to one of our vendors and they're like, oh, you didn't dress up. I'm like, oh, man, just make me feel old like I should have dressed up. I wish I would have. And nobody is dressed as nobody. It's you are. Nobody dresses up like nobody on Halloween. I mean.
Although I'm not the only person who's dressed like me. Brian over in Manchester apparently went to a Halloween party as nobody.
Oh, nice.
He had a big old beard, too.
Yeah.
Right? Fake beard.
Yeah, he had a big old fake beard, and he tie-dye shirt, of course.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
And a vote for nobody pin.
That is excellent. You were recently on another New Hampshire station, did a interview with them. I listened to that today.
Did you like that?
It was good.
I thought it was really funny.
I thought it was really.
Was that the Mill interview?
The whatever one got posted today on freekeen.com.
That was yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mill.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
a rock station in Manchester.
Yeah, and they were not only, I would say that, that's type of story could definitely be a humorous story. But they talked about some of the issues
supportively.
The guy was pretty funny. He's like, well, I think I found my candidate. Yeah, because you're using common sense. So I thought it was a really good interview. Good job.
And the lady,
he's been pushing for legalization of prostitution for a while. So she when I mentioned that, she picked his producer picked up on that, or I don't know if she's his producer or co-host.
Yeah,
and she actually gave you an endorsement saying that she thought you could take the current incumbent governor.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he gets that much exercise. I think I could probably take it.
Maybe so. You've got martial arts training too, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, as long as nobody appropriates your culture, then I'm fine. I just don't want anybody out there, appropriating nobody's culture, because it would just be devastating.
What would that even mean? I mean, would that mean no one could smoke cannabis? I mean,
no,
what is the culture of nobody?
You must have. Well, actually, now we just heard of cultural appropriation against, I'm going to say hippies. Somebody went to poke fun at you at a Halloween party and they dressed.
He's a straight up hippie too. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Well, it
was just a hippie dressed up as a different hippie.
That's true. I am saying, no, that's not all right. You guys are poking fun. No, I'm saying that you can't poke fun if people chose the hippie lifestyle, that becomes their culture. And you can't just go dressing up like them, even if it is Halloween.
Well, yeah,
it's just wrong.
No, but he is actually a hippie.
You're trying to confuse the issue by asserting facts. Let us talk.
No, I get what you're saying, Chris. You're pointing out that all these people who are so upset about cultural appropriation, which when we were growing up was just having fun putting on costumes on Halloween.
Right.
Now people are super offended about it, but they only target, these costumes that represent Indians or Asian people or, whatever these, races are supposed to be. But what about the hippies? What about the soldiers? What about all these other cultures that are just as cultural, as relevant to their cultures as, somebody being born Indian is, right?
How about an Indian gentleman dressing up in whiteface, dressing up like a white male?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would that be cultural appropriation to these people?
Right. There's more here from the story at the Washington Post. They want to help you understand. Okay,
good, because
the
I
Washington
obviously
Post,
don't.
They have a series of stories about being super oversensitive, and they want you to understand how. So they're interviewing a young woman. She's 22, Glory Ames. She's the co-president of the American Indian Student Association at Minnesota State University, and she is super upset over Native American costumes. So she goes on. She says that seeing the princess costume, which was an Indian princess costume called Powwow Princess.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty hot. She was made angry. And by the way, I will tell you that she does not look like the woman in that photograph.
Okay.
So
we are in studio looking at a picture of the Powwow Princess costume, at least one that's for sale for only $39.99.
She would not look as good in that particular costume. I'll just say that. Non-natives, she says, can pretend to be native for one day a year, and it's all the cute or sexy parts of being native. But there are so many people who can't just put on or take off the costume. They have to live with all the other aspects of being born native, she said. She's majoring in sustainability and cultural anthropology.
Hold on. Sustainability is now a major?
I bet you it's been that way for a while.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Wow.
So, I mean, what do you think about that? These people are just putting on a costume for a day. They don't have to take on the weight of actually what it means to be a native.
Oh, God. Just think about it, the Native Americans who are...
If you dress up as Batman, you don't have to deal with, seeing your parents killed before your eyes, or, if you...
Oh, my gosh. Think about the Native Americans who actually enjoy more freedoms than many Americans do because they do live on the reservation.
Right.
They're forced to live on the reservation, but they also...
Well, they're not. They can leave.
True.
That's true.
True, but they are also able to live at a lower tax rate. I believe taxation on Native Americans is lower than most of us. They have some...
Is there federal taxation on
I
natives?
don't know if
there
is at all. I think their tax burden is somehow lower.
Right, and what is this? So what is she so frustrated about being native? I mean, yeah, there's a horrifying history in the past in the United States of Native Americans being slaughtered by, a lot of the people that moved here. But exactly how is that hurting her now?
That's a good question. We're going to go to the
there
phones.
are definitely people who hate natives out there. And,
okay.
But
there's people who hate liberals and conservatives too. I mean, hey, if you're hated, you're probably doing something.
Right, exactly. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Chris calling from Florida. Chris, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Well, what's in my mind?
Yes, sir. You're on the radio.
Awesome. Well, back in '91. I dressed up for the first time ever for Halloween, all right?
Okay. How old were you?
I was the prime age of 10 years old.
Got it.
Would you want to know what I dressed up as?
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it in mind you're on actual radio, so keep it clean.
All right. Sure. So I dressed up as Rodney King, that stupid fucking nigger. The guy.
Okay, you got to hit the dump button on that one. And then the other one. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't say that on the radio.
Well, you
Good call.
missed it.
We
What a
warned ya.
great call. So we're broadcast on.
By the way, the Rodney King thing didn't happen until after 1991, did it? Didn't it? Wasn't that like 92 or 93 or something like that?
He pulled one over on us. Dang.
When was that?
If you
Oh,
do
no,
want-
it was 1991.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, he did a little research before he called in. How about that?
Usually crank callers do absolutely no research, so he moved up from bottom feeder to step above bottom feeder. That's okay. If you do call into Free Talk Live, keep in mind that we are on, about 200 radio stations coast to
That's
coast.
right, yep.
So we have to keep the airwaves clean out of respect, not for us, but out of respect for our license holders that have to.
Well, we would have jumped, even if we weren't, even if we didn't have a dump button, we would have dropped your call anyways because it sucked.
That's true. 855-450 free. We're going to talk some more about Halloween, and maybe Ian can.
I have more advice.
Maybe he can explain cultural appropriations in a way that doesn't make it sound ridiculous.
It's a costume, not a cult. Oh, wait, no, it's a culture, not a costume, is what they say here.
Of course they do. We'll
No
be
fun
back.
allowed.
This is Free Talk Live.
Have you ever watched a video on the internet and found yourself waiting for the skip the ad button? The reason this takes a few seconds is because the video delivery companies get to collect impression commission, and the viewer never sees the advertisement. The company still pays full price to run the ad. Does this sound like a scam to you? Is there any wonder why internet ads are so ineffective? For over 100 years, radio has been a proven source for companies' messages. Radio listeners are engaged and want to support the companies that sponsor the shows they're so passionate about. Simple companies like window treatments, security, pillow companies, and more have been able to break away from the big box stores, building multi-million-dollar businesses. Find out what radio can do for your business. Call 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com. That's advertise at gcnlive.com.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Free Talk Live.
Our education system is frankly government-run, government-funded, and we're dumbed down.
You could go down the laundry list of the different things that people would admit that the government did wrong or botched up or cost way too much, and it still doesn't have any effect on them. They still just bounce right back and say, well, we need government to do all these things. Well, yes, they make some mistakes. Yes, they spend billions of dollars too much. Sure, they kill innocent people around the world, but we need them. We have to have them do these things.
I find it quite amazing that, they say the first thing they seem to do is, turn to government. They've got the solution somehow.
Yep.
Goodness knows they
That's what they've been programmed to do by the government schools.
Exactly. Brainwashed, absolutely brainwashed, and they're so dumb about it, they believe it's the case. However, you then ask the next question, if you dare to, is you say, would you trust any politicians? And the first answer is no way.
Right.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, a very special Halloween edition, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's Chris.
And Ian.
And nobody.
And Ian has been sharing some Halloween tales with us, scary tales. Scary
tales of whiny college students.
Yes.
And others who are easily offended.
And that, to me, completely destroys the whole joy that is Thanksgiving. You're supposed to dress up like somebody you're not. That's what a costume is. It's dressing up like someone you're not. And if you happen to find someone, if you have respect for them or for whatever reason, it just doesn't matter. I've dressed up as some of the most offensive costumes because it was funny, or at least I thought it was funny. And sometimes Halloween's about being offensive at an adult party. Sometimes it's about dressing as an Indian brave or an Indian chief if you're a kid. And which I remember dressing like an Indian when I was a kid. I wasn't poking fun. I wasn't trying to appropriate the culture of Indians. I wasn't making fun of their plight. I just wanted to dress as an Indian.
Because it was cool.
It was cool.
It was fun.
And other friends of mine, they dressed as
I don't
cowboys.
know if I ever dressed like that for Halloween, but I remember as a child having a wooden bow and arrow and some of the accoutrements just for play, play cowboys and Indians.
Sure.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Little someone might get offended.
Cap revolvers.
We're just too offended.
Oh, that would really freak people out.
Are those
today,
even legal
wouldn't it?
now? Caps?
Are legal?
You can buy a cap pistol still.
But,
I've seen them in stores.
Okay.
But, don't take your cap gun to school because they'll probably end up doing life or getting shot. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, there have been a number of police shootings of people holding toy guns, obviously toy guns, or non-lethal guns, or, like a pellet gun, a BB gun, or things like that. Things that, and a few years back, they came out with a law that said any plastic guns now need to have orange barrel tips. So now if you go try to buy a toy gun...
That's because cops were shooting people to death.
Because cops were shooting people.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in. So
I've never heard of an open carrier like randomly whacking somebody who's just walking down the street with a toy gun. No.
Nope. Me neither.
No, that doesn't really happen.
Seems to be only cops that fall for that.
That's it. Yeah, and they were threatened. They were afraid for their life, and that's what happens.
Well, and now you have people who are afraid for their culture, that it's going to be somehow ruined or poisoned or not respected or whatever. This story from the Washington Post. Ohio University launched a poster campaign in 2011 called "We're a Culture, Not a Costume." Other schools have since opted in, including, and it names a bunch of universities, which expanded the posters into a training program through its Housing and Residential Education Department. They say here, quote, if you say you can't wear this, you're shutting down the opportunity for conversation, versus if you say you shouldn't, you can expand on why and link it to a plethora of history, says Rajan White, resident director at the University of Denver. Quote, another huge piece is we encourage students to do their homework, do their research, because we live in a time where you can Google anything. You shouldn't be reliant on those marginalized to explain. The work should be done by the person seeking the knowledge. So get out there and find out why someone might be offended at the costume you're planning on wearing. You want to wear a costume?
Because their idiot women's studies professor told them to be. That's why they're offended.
This is it's such insanity, and we all agree that it's insanity. And most people listening to this will think it's insanity.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But did you hear about cultural appropriation 15 years ago? Probably not.
Not nearly as frequency.
No, they're saying that the first that's what they're citing here is this college that in 2011 came out with a program. They had like a poster where I'll describe for you. It says, "We're a culture, not a costume. You think it's harmless, but you're not the target." And it's got a picture of like a drunk college girl. She's got one of those red Solo cups in her hand,
right?
And also in the hand, she's got like a hatchet. She's wearing an Indian headdress. She's dressed up as like, the haughty Indian powwow princess, and she's like drunk and laughing. And then there's an actual Indian standing there with her arms crossed. She's not wearing any garb or whatever. She's just colored, so it's clearly that she's an Indian.
Does she have one tear streaming down her?
No, but she looks sad. She does look sad.
Right, I get that, and I do believe, people can be really insensitive. Like if you were to go in blackface and have a noose around your neck, I would call that it's
a tacky costume.
It's a tacky costume, and I would get that, but I'm not going to tell you can't wear it. You have that right to be an ass. That's that's the truth, and
a donkey.
We do have those rights, and and you have a right to be offended by these things. But when it crosses over, when I make a law that says you can't be offended, or I make a law that says you cannot dress as this, that's where you're losing it. And it's not legal. These aren't stories we're talking about laws, not yet. But hey, these people are the ones that elect people. That's why it's a disturbing trend.
So far, students seem receptive. A year and a half ago, there was an incident involving a student in blackface on the social media platform Yik Yak. Students did comment on the photo, but instead of outright shaming, they wanted to sit down and talk to the offender about his choice, said Ebenezer Yaboya, Associate Director of Residential Education at the university. Angelica Granado's 20-year-old first-generation Mexican-American student and second-year resident advisor who has participated in several role-playing workshops. Whoa, how can they have a role-playing workshop? Isn't role-playing also appropriating someone else's culture if you're playing a role? She said, quote, some of the students never interacted with diversity in general. I really appreciate the university working toward everyone feeling included. And then they go on to talk about certain politicians who have worn some offensive things at some point. Growing trend among music festival attendees to wear Native American headdress has also come under scrutiny, leading one festival in San Francisco to ban the practice. And most recently, country singer Casey Musgrave sparked outrage among the Asian American community for combining Indian and Vietnamese traditional costumes and for hypersexualizing the look. So you can't even take two things and combine them together to make something that's completely different, that is not anything that has ever existed, in culture anywhere.
Unbelievable. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Olivia calling in from Arizona. Olivia, you're on Free Talk Live.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Thank you. Happy Halloween to you.
Appropriation, the definition is the action of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission. So I think it's interesting that nobody owns these cultures, right? Aren't we just spirits having a human experience? It's not like we got to really choose who we were born to.
True.
So I just think it's weird. If, in fact, I was thinking if anybody can empathize with the Native Americans now, it's the Lex family, who the government destroyed their house and doesn't have to pay for it.
Right.
But I was just thinking, like, I'm trying to think how to word this. Like, Native Americans, especially with like modern Native American artists, they'll, for example, bead like Converse shoes instead of the traditional moccasins. You know, they themselves kind of appropriate culture that isn't natively theirs, and they take it and make it theirs. What's wrong with that? And another thing that really bothers me about this is that these people who are against people, dressing up for Halloween, they assume that people don't respect their culture or aren't horrified by the history of Native Americans. And
you can't have fun and be horrified at the same time, is what they believe.
Right.
Right, exactly. Like, you can't honor the people who before the government, did their business. You can't honor the people who were running around wild and free.
Well, and conversely, dressing up as an Indian doesn't mean I actually want to scalp you. Right? So, like, it's not to say that the Indians, if that's what we're going to talk about here, it's not to say that they're completely innocent and not, they didn't do anything wrong to any peaceful people in the past. So, but that's okay. It's no big deal, because it says here in the next paragraph, people need to consider how the costumes may be perceived by the community whose culture is being represented. Further, she says, ask yourself the question, does the culture you're imitating have a history of oppression?
Unbelievable.
See, if you haven't been oppressed, thanks, Olivia, in the past, well, then it's okay to appropriate that.
So I think she was probably going in the opposite direction with that.
I have no idea what direction any of this is going in, but we'll be confused. 855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale. Totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,512, silver at $18.12, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,222. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, in 2015, an armed shoplifting suspect barricaded himself inside an innocent man's home. But instead of barging into the home and attempting to make an arrest, the police blew up the unfortunate bystander's house instead. Using explosives and tear gas in an attempt to force the suspect out of the home, police entirely destroyed it by the end of the encounter. The basic infrastructure and frame was left barely intact. Now, after years of legal battles, a federal appeals court ruled that the homeowner is not entitled to any compensation from the city or the police because the officers were acting to preserve the safety of the public. The Mind Unleashed reports the owner of the house, Leo Leck, says that the incident that day left his family homeless simply because the police couldn't find a less destructive way of handling the situation. The house was ultimately condemned by the local government, leaving Leck forced to rebuild from the ground up, a construction project that he estimates cost roughly $400,000. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. CIA-backed death squads in Afghanistan have committed a number of human rights violations over the last year, a Human Rights Watch report found Thursday, and the militant groups are likely to be the lasting legacy of the U.S. war in the country. The report reviewed cases of abuse from late 2017 to the middle of 2019 in Afghanistan, interviewing 39 Afghans and a number of rights groups in the country. The group found a pattern of extreme violence from the CIA-trained and backed death squads. In a statement, HRW Associate Asia Director Patricia Grossman, who was the report's lead author, said the CIA, through backing the militant groups, had consigned entire communities to the terror of abusive night raids and indiscriminate airstrikes. Among the atrocities detailed in the report are a number of mass killings. In October 2018, paramilitary forces murdered 5 civilian members of one family, including an elderly woman and child. Just 2 months later, in December, a group to the south raided a village and killed 6 civilians. The first domino in the next global economic crisis has fallen when Hong Kong crashed Thursday morning into a technical recession, the first time since the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Hong Kong's economy plunged 3.2% in third quarter of 2019, government data showed on Thursday, exceeding economists' lowest estimates and confirming a technical recession has begun. Earlier this week, it was reported that Hong Kong Financial Secretary Paul Chan warned after more than half a year of violent anti-government demonstrations, the end of October will likely mark the start of a recession. With 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth and no end to the protests in sight, Bloomberg has noted in a series of graphs that a full-year economic contraction is likely for 2020. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Procter & Gamble introduced a beginner series of its Bounty paper towel brand this week, specifically designed to assist novices in acclimating to the household cleaning product. The new entry-level paper towels will reportedly feature bold labels and guide markers clearly printed on the surface of each sheet, as well as a step-by-step instructional DVD in each package.
Make sure that your paper towel is directly on top of the stain and not beside the stain. Otherwise, you won't absorb any liquid. Place your paper towel directly on the stain and make a gentle wiping motion.
And in this week's local news, an area man knows that deep down, he's not done vomiting. In other news, Los Angeles residents are plagued by a roving pack of feral celebrities living in the Hollywood Hills. God wonders what happens to humans after they die, and a local dad clarifies that this is not a food stop. I was told early on that I would never be able to procreate, but I imagine the cold, dejected sensation I experience at the end of this news summary is similar to what a father feels when holding a a child of his own flesh and blood.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number to call to tell us what's on your mind. Welcome to hour number 3, because we do 3 hours of radio every night, 365 days a year. Sounds good, but it's not quite. Sometimes we do like remote broadcasts from a crypto convention or something like that. We might be recording there, but 99.9% of the time, I'm going to guess, if you're listening between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, you are going to hear us. The us this evening, and we have a rotating cast of hosts.
You'll still hear us if we're not live.
There we go. Will you? You'll hear somebody. In studio tonight, it's Chris.
And Ian.
And nobody.
And we have been talking, well, we've been talking Halloween, and Ian has some. Ian did the best job with show prep tonight because he brought in stories about Halloween, and that
actually I totally waited till the show started before I started looking for the Halloween stories.
Well,
but
that's
I typed
okay.
in Halloween and controversy into Google News. And,
that's a safe bet.
Or no, I think I typed in Halloween and offensive. As,
of course.
Something about cultural appropriation came right up. But we actually have.
Well, if you go looking for offense, you're going to find it.
Yeah, you might want to click in there on Mikey. I know he's got a story to tell. I believe this is. I don't know if we could say. I don't know if he wants to say who he is, but he goes to school, and he's got a story for us.
Hi, Mikey. You're on Free Talk Live.
I don't know. Is he not there? I think you've got him muted there, Chris. I think that's your fault, not his. You just need to unmute the Discord, and then should be good.
See, we changed boards. Mikey, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Good.
Now.
All right. So today, at Keene High School, from the times of I think it was 8:51 to like 9:36. There was an incident involving the school resource officer actually tackling a student.
Oh my!
Wow.
Yeah.
What did he have? A cigarette?
It's funny you say that, right? So the story was he was in the bathroom. You know what a Juul is, I presume.
Juul is a vaporizer, a nicotine salts vaporizer.
Yeah. So the story is, from what we've been told and hearing, is that he went into the bathroom with a few friends and they started juuling, and the cops went in as well. I don't know why he went in, but he did. And then I guess told him not to do it, and I guess the guy punched him in the face, or punched the cop in the face.
Wow.
Okay.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's usually not going to go well.
Yeah, right. So, and then he walks out all casually, and then from the video, you just kind of see the cop just run out of the bathroom and just full out tackle the guy.
Somebody caught video of this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, I got to say, if somebody randomly punched me in the face, I might tackle him too.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be too offended about somebody fighting back when they've been attacked like that. Of course, the cop should have left the kid alone. I mean, he wasn't hurting anybody in the first place by using a Juul.
Yeah. I mean, if you like, I could send you the video.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally want to see that video.
That's insane.
So, was that all that there was to the story, or was there more?
That was all that we've been told so far.
Oh, so you didn't witness it? You just the video got passed around, and you happened to catch it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure it's making the rounds. Hey, Mikey, thanks for your call.
Yeah, just leave them kids alone, man. Let them have their Juul. Who cares? At least they're not smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, you don't get cancer. This is a misconception. The real damage that comes from people smoking cigarettes, smoking tobacco, has to do with the fact that you're inhaling burning smoke. And
not the nicotine.
Yeah, it's not the nicotine. The nicotine is a drug that does affect the human body in different ways. It can raise your blood pressure temporarily. It can do all sorts of things. And it can also provide positive effects for people with Alzheimer's, for example. I found that out. The British are
How long have you had it?
Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay. The memory is the second thing to go, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first thing was?
I can't remember that earlier either.
What did you say?
The British have done so much more research into vaping than the American government has ever done, to the point that the British are advocating opening up vape shops in hospitals. Nicotine is demonized, but nicotine itself is not what does the damage from smoking. It's inhaling, burning fumes and smoke. It's just
and radiation. There's a certain level of radiation to cigarette smoke.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't
know why.
Okay.
But yeah, there is some. For some reason, cigarette smoke is slightly radioactive.
I've never heard that, but there are lots of things. Tar damages your lungs. Nicotine does not damage your lungs. It anywhere close to the same level. And we had over 1,000 kids who died because of lung damage, not from nicotine-based vaping. It appears that the majority, and even the CDC released
there were
report
not
today.
1,000 deaths. There were nowhere near 1,000 deaths. No.
I apologize.
There may be
for
1,000 people that went to the hospital.
1,000 people reported, or something like that.
They're short on breath. Or
1,000 coughs.
I think it was like But the CDC even announced they had a press release today that said to the effect of, we have, narrowed this down to, the 87% or 90% reported using black market THC-based vapes, THC being the active ingredient in marijuana, using THC-based, but we're still going to recommend that everybody stop vaping nicotine. Well, they don't have any proof to go by, but they're still recommending this. Which has got everybody in a tizzy.
Well, they can recommend whatever they want. I could care less.
Yeah, but where they're leading is doing the ban, which Trump wants, because apparently Barron Trump talked about seeing kids at his school who had vaped. Therefore, we need a complete...
Did he get cancer of the eyeball from seeing these kids?
Evidently. So now Trump says we have to ban all flavored vapes. And you can only vape things that taste like tobacco, and you can't even have menthol flavored or mint flavored. So,
yeah. Wow.
By the way, I did watch the video. Mikey sent the video of the cop tackling the kid coming out of the bathroom from Keene High School, which is the high school here in Keene where we're doing the show from. And it's the very same officer, English is his name, who showed up years ago outside of a bar where we were all doing karaoke. This is I don't know, almost 10 years ago, probably 9 years ago. There was a bar here in town. They've since closed down, and we were there that night, and there was this hater who was there, this local guy who hates freedom activists or whatever, and I think he threw a punch at you at some point, or did he?
Yeah, he gave me a black eye. That was when I suddenly realized that, oh wow, you can't wade into a fist fight when you're wearing a sidearm.
Yeah, well, then somebody called the cops that night. And this officer...
I ended up looking down the barrel of an AR-15 at one point that night.
That was the officer.
The one who had the AR-15 pointed at me?
That's the one, yeah.
Good
The guy
Lord.
who showed up to a bar fight with an AR-15 is the very same officer who comes out of the bathroom and tackles this kid that just walked out of the bathroom for using a Juul and allegedly hitting the officer.
Does it show the alleged striking of the officer?
It just shows the kid coming out of the bathroom and then getting tackled.
Yeah, English was irritated at me because I wouldn't identify the guy that hit me.
Yeah, my experience with bar fights, and I have been in a couple, is it's usually best if there are no guns involved, And that goes for the police too. 855-450 free. You can settle things in other ways. You don't have to feel threatened for your life with every circumstance. This is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Hey, let me tell you something. The balance of nature really works, man. I mean, I work constantly on the road, and I put in 60 hours in 4 days, 15 hours a day, and I'm telling you, this stuff works. I don't get sick. I have plenty of energy. I'm 46 years old. I'm an old man. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to have this stuff. So I just want you to know that this stuff really works, and I'm grateful that this Dr. Howard guy figured it out. So I'll leave it at that.
Experience the balance of nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. Hey, I wanted to ask you, that's a better way of putting this. Would you like to learn how the ultra-wealthy take their retirement accounts and make them legally 100% tax-free? Have your money liquid and invest in literally anything you want to, completely tax-free, with the blessing of the IRS. And no, it's not our Roth IRA. Visit dna.freetalklive.com to learn more and watch Fortune DNA's free pre-recorded webinar. With Fortune DNA, you can invest in anything you want, 100% tax-free for you and your heirs, and use the money before you're 59 and a half without ever losing your principal. Avoid the volatility of the market, put certainty back in your investing future, and keep full access to your money with Fortune DNA. Join the ultra-wealthy by using an 160-year-old investing program that is no longer exclusive. Just visit dna.freetalklive.com to learn more and watch Fortune DNA's free pre-recorded webinar. That's dna.freetalklive.com. In studio, it's Chris, Ian, and Nobody, and we've been trying to talk Halloween. First, we talked about cultural appropriation, because that's a thing. You cannot dress up as, I guess the story I got out of that story was, you can't dress up and have fun. You should be miserable. You can only dress up in costume.
You can have fun. You just can't have fun with cultures and their costumes. You can dress up like a dog or a dinosaur.
Well, no, I think dog culture is going to be protected sometime soon. So I think to dress up in costume on the Halloween of the future, you're going to be required to dress up as the same race that you happen to be, the same gender, the same sex that you happen to be. And just to be clear, you should dress as you dress every other day, except that will be your Halloween costume. You'll dress as yourself. And then I don't think you can offend anyone else, but someone will be offended. I'm certain of it. It's insanity.
Well, the story here, do you want more from it? Because there's more.
Oh, sure.
This is the advice from the Washington Post, who has a whole series on how to be super, super oversensitive, like these college students. They say that ask yourself the question, does the culture you're imitating have a history of oppression? Are you benefiting from borrowing the culture? Benefiting, like, by just having a good time? Is that the benefit of this?
You could win a costume contest.
Oh,
right.
Good point.
Are you able to remove something when you get tired of it and return to a privileged culture when others can't? Said Moody Ramirez, director of American Studies at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. But it's not always about prohibiting others from participating in different cultures, says the Post. An Lan Nguyen wasn't upset that Musgraves wore the Vietnamese dress, just that she did it wrong. The singer wore the Vietnamese Ao Dai, a traditional dress that includes high-collared tunic with pants, but she opted to skip the bottom. Nguyen said, I'm her fan.
So she wore the tunic and no pants?
Well,
sounds cool.
The
Was
statement,
she really appropriating anything? It sounds like she...
This sounds culturally inappropriate.
It does.
The statement earlier about this was that she combined two cultures together, apparently. Country singer Casey Musgraves sparked outrage for combining Indian and Vietnamese traditional costumes. So you can't even try to make something new. Like normally, in life, you can take an idea from over here and take an idea from over here, combine them together in a way that no one has ever done before, and you have a new idea. Or take an idea over here and take a new idea you've created in your head and combine them together, and you've got something new. But oh no, if you take two protected cultures in these people's minds and do something different that's influenced by both of those, that's offensive to both of those cultures.
In restaurants, they call that fusion.
Fusion, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's
now
what
fusion,
I was thinking.
That's got to go away.
Yeah.
Right?
Casey Musgraves, she's kind of liberal, but I found some of her...
Not liberal enough, apparently, according to these people.
Well, yeah, and she's almost libertarian in some things. She was like the first like heavy country artist I ever heard that did
How heavy is she?
Well, she just, it's really the idea that she would have a hit with a song celebrating, gay people and things like that. It just wasn't done often. Every one of her albums has always had something controversial in it.
See, I've never heard of this person, so
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. She did a song about gay people.
Not so much. She just, celebrating who you are, follow your arrow, whatever, wherever it points you and makes you happy, then don't forget, or just don't let anybody else tell you what to do. That's kind of the message I got out of it.
Nguyen, who's the co-chairwoman of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association in Houston, does want to tell her what to do. She says, I'm her fan and would have been proud to show off her dress, but without the pants, the way she posed leads to the indication of promoting sexuality. For Asian girls, people exploited Asians for their perceived submissive attitude, and maybe she didn't have this intention, but it unfortunately reminded us a lot of those stereotypes. Again, helps coordinate Vietnamese events in Houston where children of different backgrounds wear the same Vietnamese dress that Musgraves wore, but with pants included. Again said, quote, I would be happy to see other people wear my cultural costume. America would not be America without combining cultures. People should not forget, all these people are from different parts of the world. So this particular person is okay with other people wearing their cultural costume, but make sure you wear the whole costume. You can't just wear the top part.
You can't mix cultures.
Yeah.
You have to be is miscognition, is that the word I'm looking for?
It's a word.
When that's what they used to call interracial couples.
Oh, really?
They weren't supposed to mix, and that was actually the origin of marriage licenses.
That's right.
Was to prevent interracial marriage.
Unbelievable.
The final thought here from, if you want to call it that, from the Washington Post is, quote, the responsibility of explaining the significance of any cultural expression or artifact often falls on the shoulders of the offended party. It can be burdensome. Or you could just leave people alone and not take the burden on. But going on, it says, it's also important to be included in the conversation, said Granados, who's majoring in political science and Spanish with a minor in critical race and ethnic studies. Previously, cultural training wasn't led by students of color at her school, so they suggested they lead instead. Quote, I don't want to be the one always educating people, but if we don't, we can't get mad. But they will. Don't worry.
You do need to get mad about something, so you better be involved, because getting mad is the only point of this stuff.
And this is somebody who apparently managed to take over somebody's job because that person was of the wrong race.
That's right. Yep.
Yes.
That's kind of amusing.
Getting mad got her paid.
It's
funny
just
how that works.
Insanity, and I don't know. I hope that because this has only been really a thing for, say, the last 10, 15 years, I hope it fades away. I just hope we can sit here in 10 years ago, man, do you remember all that insanity? This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want to join the ultra wealthy by using a 160-year-old investing program that is no longer exclusive? Keep your funds fluid and 100% tax-free for you or your heirs with no contribution limits and without ever losing your principal with Fortune DNA. Learn how to avoid the volatility of the market and put certainty back into your investing future. Join us now at dna.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at dna.freetalklive.com.
Anarchapulco is the world's foremost conference for voluntarists, thinkers, and activists, held in beautiful Acapulco, Mexico. Share ideas on how to live free and escape the clutches of the state. Their unparalleled lineup of speakers will discuss entrepreneurship, investments, politics, philosophy, health, sustainability, lifestyles, and personal relationships. Stay in a world-class resort and enjoy the sun and beaches. February the 13th through the 16th. Visit anarchapulco.com for early bird pricing and 10% off with coupon code FTL.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's Chris.
And Ian.
And nobody.
And we have been talking Halloween because, hey, it's Halloween, and it gives us something to bring up and talk about. But all the stories have been pretty insane, and I'm sure we can find another insane.
Well, we've only talked about the cultural appropriation thing so far.
Yeah,
I mean, there was the story about the police raid at the beginning of the story where they, or the show where they destroyed someone's home over a shoplifter. But I don't think he was stealing Halloween supplies.
I think it was just me. The cultural appropriation story seemed like 17 insane stories to me.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of insanity in it. That's for sure.
It drives me nuts.
But they talked to maybe a dozen different nut jobs in that one story. So.
Yes. But the long and the short of it is you can dress as yourself, your race, and you can't ever show any respect for any other race by dressing as a character of anything you're not, or you're culturally appropriating someone.
They've managed to suck all of the fun out of Halloween.
Yes.
That's what they've done.
So I guess superhero costumes are okay because I don't know any actual superheroes.
There are people who do dress as superheroes and go out and fight crime. I think Phoenix Jones was the name of the guy in, I think it was Washington State.
Interesting.
This was years ago. We reported on this. He would get like a leotard or whatever, like a superhero looking kind of get up, and he'd go out looking for, petty crime or whatever, bar fight or something like that, and he'd like try to square off and fight with the dudes. And apparently, I think it was Washington State, because I think that they had said that it was actually legal to have like a street fight if it was consensual, right? So like in most states, two people squaring off to fight consensually is still a crime, even though they're both consenting to it, unless it's happening licensed in a boxing ring.
In New Hampshire, if it's consenting, it's a violation, and if there's no consent, it's a misdemeanor assault.
Right. So there's no violation. And actually, if there's an officer nearby, you can have the officer referee the match. That's my understanding of it.
I cannot imagine that's still the law in Washington State, given the rest of Washington State. But hey, maybe it is. That's cool.
I mean, the story isn't more than 2 decades old because we talked about this guy on Free Talk Live, Phoenix Jones, and he wasn't the only one of these sort of real-life superhero wannabe guys. So
I'm sure there's many of them out there. Thank you, Marvel Universe.
And there's always Florida Man.
Yeah,
the world's most helpless and irresponsible superhero.
I got to give there's a broadcasting company in Florida that's called JVC Radio, and they actually have nothing to do with the Japanese manufacturer JVC, but they started a talk radio station within the last few months, and they called it Florida Man Radio.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
Yeah, I just thought it was perfect. It's an FM talk station. I've been calling them on occasion to try to get on there, but I haven't gotten the program director on the line yet.
Too funny. We're going to go to the phones.
Mark and I are from there, so I figure we should qualify.
You are a Florida man.
Most nights of the week, we got at least one Florida man on the air here on Free Talk Live.
Exactly. Go to the phones where we've got Dave in New Mexico. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Man, I saw this scariest costume today.
Okay.
This transsexual cop at the University of New Mexico. Man, big guy. Calls himself Mary Grace Barreras, and can't think of many other scary costumes or scarier costumes other than maybe the Jewish lesbian that runs KUNM. Let's Talk New Mexico.
Now, what were you doing on the college campus?
Oh, violating their ban, no trespass ban against me.
You have a physical no trespass ban on the college.
It wasn't just you can't just call in. You can no longer go on the campus, period.
Right. That's right. The dean of students, this is the second time they've done this to me, actually. The first time was, if you remember, I was in the University of New Mexico Law Library doing research and writing legal documents that I was going to file with the court here. And they have their workers there, their staff are mostly students, mostly third-year law school students, which mean they already have an undergraduate degree. They're in the middle of their 20s.
Okay.
And I asked one of them politely if I could buy her dinner. And a few minutes later, the cop showed up and kicked me out, told me never to come back again. Wow. So apparently I broke some rules. So the dean of students, in that case, and I even went and met with the dean of students, had a meeting to see if we could negotiate anything. And we did a little bit, but they banned me from the campus, not just from the law library, but they wanted to ban me from the entire campus at that time for
because
asking
you asked
a girl to dinner. Because I asked a girl to dinner. And
that does not sound like a legitimate reason to ban somebody. I will say this, and thank you for the call tonight. I have been banned from this campus here in the past. They issued a ban against, I think it was me and Daryl Perry several years ago. It was like right after Daryl had moved here, we went to do some kind of outreach or whatever it was on the college campus, and they told us that, you're no trespassed for a year. We had a free speech attorney, John Meyer from Manchester, really renowned guy at free speech cases. He sent a letter to the college basically saying, yeah, this is completely unconstitutional, and the college rescinded the ban.
Right. So, I found that colleges are quick to ban people for life and say things like that.
As long as no one challenges it, they get away with it.
Right, exactly. It's insanity.
Well, they're terrified of anybody differing in thought with them.
Yeah, and
it has to be our way is the only way.
Yeah. So the only stories of people getting banned from college campuses usually involved alcohol. But I remember hearing, a friend of mine getting hit with you're banned for life from this campus. And I just kind of wondered, how do you ban somebody for life? I mean, you're probably not going to recognize them.
You could post
2
their photo.
years ago. Right. I guess they could, but But still, I mean, is that realistic? And
well, the thing is, if you do encounter that person again, it would give the security a way to have him arrested rather than just telling him to go away again.
I understand. I'm just looking at it pragmatically. I mean, how could they possibly do that? Are they going to maintain a file of your photo and your information for 5-10 years? And we're talking about college security. No offense, college
Well,
security.
a lot of them are cops. I mean, just to be clear, a lot
true.
of college security. There's one guy at the school here, Keene State, who is a police chief from one of the towns nearby. Which, by the way, I hear even fewer towns in Cheshire County now have cops. I've heard that a bunch of towns have gotten rid of their police departments entirely.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, several of them.
We should look into that.
Yeah. Well, Mark Edge is well aware of who they are.
Nice.
He's been following that.
It would be interesting to look into their crime statistics as well and
After
see,
the fact, you mean?
Yeah, see what happens to crime rates.
I think your town, they still have them, though, don't they?
We do have a police chief, but our police chief has to be.
You was telling me about that.
Has to be part-time because he's also the police chief of at least 2 other towns that I know of.
Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, they've been unable to fill those positions, and they end up talking to our police chief. And
was it you that was telling me about all the towns dropping?
I know a few are going by the wayside. Usually it's just budgetary, and second reason is they can't find people who want to be police. That's just it's a really big problem going on.
Well, good.
And people are kind of, I think it's good. It is. It's a sign of the times. If you're considering a career and every other day you hear about a police officer involved in another shooting, and if you're just a human and you look at what facts have been released about the case, and it sounds like they just shot the guy for the heck of it.
This is what happens when you call the cops.
Right. It's going to make you wonder about your career choices, as it should, and I really do think people should question that. 855-450-FREE. What do you think? Should people consider a career in law enforcement, or is that dying out? This is Free Talk Live.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in a left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. It's our final segment, but you might be able to get in. Give it a try. But first, where do you want to be in late February? How about Anarchapulco with Ron Paul, John McAfee, Sherry Peel Jackson, Doug Casey, Freeway Rick Ross, Del Bigtree, Jeff Berwick, Larkin Rose, James Corbett, Jeffrey Tucker, Benny Wills, Paul Rosenberg, Luke Rudkowski, Dale Brown, James True, Michael Bowman, Lily Forrester, Piazza Nico Sif, and us. This is a huge event, and Anarchapulco is really rapidly becoming one of the premier events for liberty available. This is one you should think about. Anarchapulco is the world's foremost conference on voluntarist thinkers and held in beautiful Acapulco, Mexico. Share ideas on how to live free and escape the clutches of the state and central banks. Their unparalleled lineup of speakers will discuss entrepreneurship, investments, politics, philosophy, health, sustainability, lifestyles, and personal relationship. Enjoy 4 days among the sun and beaches of a world-class resort, February 13th to the 16th. Visit Anarchapulco for 10% off with promo code FTL. That's anarchapulco.com. My apologies. Anarchapulco.com, promo code FTL. I hope a lot of people take advantage of it. You're going to be down there, Ian.
I hope so. We haven't finished the deal yet.
Oh, I hope you make it.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to take just a moment to thank Chris Hickman. Chris is a gold amplifier, which means he has proposed and pledged to donate $10 a month to Free Talk Live's amplifier program. What Amplify stands for is advertise, market, and promote. The money that listeners donate to that purpose will be used for that purpose and no other purpose. It doesn't line our pockets. It helps us get on more radio stations and spread the ideas and thoughts of liberty, which is too rare on talk radio these days.
I had a talk station program director today tell me that they're going to start us this weekend. I just can't say which one yet. So
that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you say what state?
Minnesota, I think.
Okay.
Nice.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so some new people are going to hear about the ideas of liberty, and that's a good thing.
I think so. Thanks, amplifiers. amp.freetalklive.com is where you can go there.
I'm going to go to the radio, go to the phones.
You're on the radio, bro.
Yep. This is when lime brain kicks in. I just had
You got the lime and the coconut.
Nothing was working. Nothing was firing. I'm going to go to Mark in Florida. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, I was listening to you guys tonight, and I thought it was a pretty good show. I wanted to get to 105.5 FM, Florida Man Radio. We are Florida Man, and
you sound
pretty
high
cool.
as hell. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, and I listened to Bubba the Love Sponge, and
Yeah. Bubba the Love Sponge, for listeners that don't know, is a Florida-based morning show jock who has been on the air for many years.
He's on
Tampa, isn't
in the
he?
Tampa market.
Yeah, I remember that guy
He's
from
on
when I lived
Sirius
there.
XM too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where he is these
Yeah,
days.
well, you can hear him in Tampa and Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's pretty cool. He got on the Orlando station. He hasn't been on Orlando in quite a while.
So did you just call to update us
what-
on Bubba the Love Sponge's career?
No, I wanted to. He does Bubba Unspun on Wednesdays, at 12:00 on his YouTube channel. And he likes
Didn't
to
he? Wasn't he
get,
on Twitch for a moment, or is he not doing Twitch anymore?
He's still on Twitch.
Okay.
He's still on Twitch. Yeah, the Bubba Army, and he does that in the mornings, 6 to 10.
What is it that you like about his show? I mean, this is obviously a paid promo for Bubba. You're getting paid, but we're not, right?
No, it's not getting paid. I just like how he when he used to do like really big stunts, like the torture rack and the fart bucket and like really crazy stuff. He's kind of calm. Yeah.
Didn't they get in a lot of trouble? I remember we talked about them years ago. Thanks for the call tonight, by the way. We talked about them on Free Talk Live. They got fired, I think, from Clear Channel at the time for like barbecuing some kind of game animal out in the parking lot or something. Somebody got really offended about it.
You think barbecue is a game?
Yeah.
We're going to stay on the phones. We got David in San Francisco. David, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Oh, a couple of things. I was more interested in Bitcoin, but it's funny you mentioned the word barbecue. I know a woman who she's trying to think if she was from Haiti, but apparently, like 200 years ago, the word barbecue was used. It was actually roasting a human being. That the white slaveholders, if there was a slave that got uppity, let's say, they would skewer him and run him over a barbecue pit. And barbecue was actually killing a human by slow fire. And so it was an awful way to die. And it was, it was one of those horrible. And so she really disliked
Well, the internet says, according to livescience.com, the word barbecue comes from the language of a Caribbean island tribe called the Taino. Their word for grilling on a raised wooden grate is barbacoa. The word first appeared in print in a Spanish explorer's account of the West Indies in 1526, according to Planet Barbecue. Since then, the popularity of barbecues has spread like wildfire. The history of barbecuing in America dates to colonial times and has been part of American culture ever since. So, I mean, according to this, it's actually a Caribbean Indian tribe, not what you said.
Well, let's, I guess history will bear it out somehow or another. Today I work in the convention center, and I happen to go through one of the other shows, and it's the Bitcoin show.
A Bitcoin show, huh?
I think it's
yeah,
the
like
Lightning Conference, I think.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a packed house. It was quite well attended. But I was surprised. They were celebrating. They had this kind of a long calendar. It took up about 80 feet of a wall, and it described the history of Bitcoin. What it was like 2009 to present. And
Hey, David. Can I just bring something out? The whole Bitcoin thing started on this day, exactly 11 years ago. Today was the day that the Bitcoin white paper was released. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, the thing that struck me though was the bank. God, what's that horrible Goldman Sachs? Is Goldman Sachs sticking their nose into Bitcoin?
They have almost every bank is interested in blockchain technology. They feel that will apply magic to their stock prices, so they're all talking about blockchain. I don't think any banks are speaking publicly about acquiring Bitcoin.
Well, what it was like I was saying, there was about an 80-foot calendar. It was 10 feet tall and 80 feet long, and the letters were about 6 or 8 inches tall. And this the final capstone was that Goldman Sachs is introducing some new Bitcoin product. So if you know about Goldman Sachs, they are one ugly company. They, for like 100 years, I think, in fact, that maybe even 150 years, they might have been involved in the Civil War, selling out both sides.
I don't know. A lot of big banks they love to do that, lend money to both sides. So no matter who wins, they got somebody to pay them back. For the side that loses them, because it's how they work.
So you're saying that one of the events at this Bitcoin conference was about Goldman Sachs, or was it sponsored by?
They were.
I guess on the timeline.
Yeah, they were on the timeline, and the newest event was that Goldman Sachs was listed as, and their headline was, their graphic was actually bigger than most on there. So I get I infer that they were somewhat of a sponsor of it.
Well, it's interesting that the big banks are really unsettled by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because with cryptocurrencies, you really don't need big banks. That's the problem.
Yeah, they don't like
and
that.
They don't like it. So thanks for the call.
The conference is called SF Blockchain Week, and it's going on as we speak.
Interesting. But that's all the time we have for you. We'll be back tomorrow night, just like we're here every night on Free Talk Live.
ElectNobody.com. Check that out.
Happy Halloween.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad, and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response